Right, before we get into this video, I just want to quickly mention something. I'm currently raising money for Tommy's charity. Now I'm going to read this off my screen because I've tried a couple of times and I keep messing it up without it. So, Tommy's charity are a UK charity that funds research into miscarriage, stillbirth and premature birth while providing pregnancy support to save babies' lives. I'm currently raising money for those. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm going to attempt to run 75 miles at Endure 24 in a few weeks' time. If you've got a spare pound or a spare penny, whatever you've got, please click on the link in the description of this video and donate the money to a worthy cause. Back to the video. Welcome back. Feels like forever since I did one of these videos. Has been a number of weeks. And I actually don't even know how many weeks it's been. I actually don't even know what week we're on when it comes to the weight loss injections. Come on, Luna. I think we're on, well, I know we're on 20 something weeks. I'll put it on the screen. But essentially we're on 6.5 months, something like that, maybe coming up to 7 months. And I've come out at either the perfect time or the worst time because it's spitting right now. So it's either gonna not rain, fingers crossed, keep it positive and all that, or any minute now, we'll be turning around and running home because I've just got a little thin jacket on. It's quite windy, it's quite chilly. But I'm hoping that rain just keeps away just enough so I can get my dog walk done. Good girl, Luna. So I haven't looked back at my last weight loss injection update video. So I'm not even sure where to start this one off. So I guess I'll just give you a little update because the last update I did was the 6-month update. And it's hard to believe that we're past that now. It's, what is it? Got to be 6.5, maybe 7 months coming up. I think it's actually 6 months, 3 weeks, something like that. And things are a little different now. So I can't even remember what dose I was on the last video. I think it was 10 milligrams. I'm actually on 12 milligrams now, 12.5, sorry. So yeah, I'm on 12.5 milligrams and I have been for 2 weeks maybe. And main reason for me going up was, actually, I was doing quite well still on the 10, but I just felt entirely normal. And this is gonna sound a bit bizarre, well, why don't you just stay on that then, Freddie? And the truth is, I wanted to see how I felt on the 12.5 milligrams to see if it was much different to the 10. And the truth was, I felt exactly the same. It didn't feel any different. So I've just decided to stay on it because I've got it. I've got I'd bought the pen. What's the point in dropping back down? I had to use that pen up. I could have, of course, adjusted the dose slightly, but I chose not to. And I've been using the 12.5. And it's been going good. There have been a couple of side effects come back though. Are you up to no good, girl? Yeah, been a couple of side effects come back. And actually, one of them has been unpleasant. I don't think unpleasant's the right word. One of them has been a little bit worrying. So I don't know if you remember a while back, I was getting spells of dizziness. Well, I've got those have come back. They came back, and actually, there was one day in particular where it come back quite strong. And I was a little concerned because I was actually out with my daughter and her friend. Took them to the cinema. And after the cinema, we went into the shop. I wanted to get some, just get some stuff for home. And I went down to get some soft drinks and it was down on the bottom shelf, so I had to squat down. You have to excuse me, I am going through the jungle. Now I had to squat down on the bottom shelf to pick these drinks up, and when I stood up, I had a dizzy spell. But it got to the point where I couldn't move. I genuinely couldn't move. It was like the lights were slowly being turned off around me. Honestly, I couldn't see straight. I couldn't see. I was too scared to move because I thought if I take one step, I'm on the floor. And I almost had my arms out to the side, kind of like, stay still, stay still. Yeah, and it didn't last long. I bet it was no more than sort of 5 or 6 seconds. It felt a lot longer, but I bet it wasn't. And then it surpassed, and yeah, and it went. But that one moment, I was like, oh shit, this is bad. This is bad. But it surpassed. And should I have, I guess that's the question, right? Is should I have stayed on the 12.5 or not? Because is that almost sounds dangerous, right? I mean, it does. I'm just being open about it, because you can call me all sorts of names now for making a decision to stay on it, but I did decide to stay on it. And those dizzy spells are definitely lightening up again, just like it did last time. But I will say that one in particular was a bad one. It was a really bad one, and it scared me. Go on, why'd you keep walking behind me? Go on, up you go. Yeah, it really did put a bit of fear into me, but I think that's more so because I had my daughter with me. And if it's just me and my daughter and her friend in a supermarket, and if I was to suddenly faint, that's going to be scary for her. And which is scary for me, because I don't want her to have to go through that. But it is lightening up, and those dizzy spells are still happening, but they are very weak again, just like they were previously. And it's safe to say that they are lifting and getting to the point where I'm not even really thinking about them. They're very, very minor. Yeah, so that's one side effect, and that's probably been, I have to say, just saying it again, that one day is probably the worst side effect of any type that I've had since starting Manjaro. Now, and again, the suppression and everything feels the same as 10 milligrams. It didn't suddenly get stronger, but that came back. And the other one is my heart rate has elevated again, like it did previously. That was something that we'd finally got under control again. And I was really quite happy that that was the case. But I am seeing, when I go for my runs now, that my heart rate is getting up a little bit higher, a little bit quicker than what I would want it to. But again, we are 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it is, into the 12.5 milligrams. And I am seeing that start to take control of itself again. Yeah, so I actually did the peer-to-peer race with Scott a couple of weeks ago now. Or was it a week ago? Do you know, I'm so out of touch with my timings at the moment. But I did the peer-to-peer race with Scott, and I never actually mentioned this to Scott at the time, but I think he probably noticed on the way home, because we did the peer-to-peer race and then we went back to the start, which was 7 miles for the race, then 7 miles back to the start for our own little bit of ultra training. And I don't know if Scott really picked up on it, but I'm sure he did. But on the way back, I did have to have a number of walking breaks, and not because I was done in, but my heart rate was more elevated than I wanted it to be. But then I was in Germany the following week, or the following days, and I was up and down the hills there, doing a little bit of running in Bavaria while I was over there for work. And I'd recommend go and watch that video. I really enjoyed that video myself. The scenery in it is unbelievable. And that's not credit to me, that's credit to Bavaria for having those hills. Well done, Bavaria, for making those hills. Yeah, but when I was up in those hills, I did notice that my heart rate, I had a little bit more control over it. And then on Sunday just gone, I went out on my long run and I did 20 or 21 Ks, something like that. And I did it at ultra pace, more or less, maybe a little bit quicker than ultra pace. It was like 7.5 minute kilometers or something, which for me is really nice and slow, really nice and easy. But obviously when you're going ultra, i.e. 75 miles that I'm hoping I've got coming up, then you just slow it down that tad bit more. Yeah, that was nice. I had a really nice run. My heart rate was under control the whole way around. And that problem's gone away as well. So it just feels like there was a couple of side effects going up to the 12.5, but they're back under control. Yeah, let's jump onto the weight loss as well. I don't even know how much of this video is usable. I've just been talking crap. But weight loss, we hit the 50-pound marker a week or so ago. And I haven't really celebrated that too much on video. I think I got to 49 pounds when I did the 6 month. And then it was only within a few days of me putting that video out, I hit the 50. But weighing myself has changed. I'm not doing it like I was now. I'm not doing it every day. And that was never an obsession. That was me helping understand what's going on with my body. And I think I've got to that point where I now do understand what's going on with my body. And I'm not focusing so much on the number on the scale. And I haven't thought about that. It's just something that seems to be happening where I just give less fucks about it now, is the truth. There's just no other way to put that. I just give less fucks about what that number is saying. And I think that's because I'm getting close to what I would consider to be, I won't say my goal weight, because we know that that keeps moving, and I didn't really want to say that I'd set a goal. It's not really a goal weight, but I think I'm just getting closer to that where I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable in the weight that I'm getting to. And actually, I think I'm probably still a stone away from where I ultimately want to be, but I'm not stressing over it. I'm not really trying to get there as fast as I can or anything like that. I know it's going to come, and it will come when it's ready, and it will come in time. So I'm just chilling out about it and saying, let's go this way. We're trying to avoid some of these horses. Someone's tying their horses up in these fields now, and I can put her on the lead as we walk past them, and I do, because I don't want her getting kicked by a horse. Yeah, but I really am less focused on what the scale is saying now, and just going through the motions of trying to live a normal life, in the sense of let's not be stressing every day about, what that says, because ultimately I think I've got my diet in a place now where I don't really have to think about it too much. I'm quite happy. I'm eating a fairly healthy, balanced diet, and I say balanced purposely because there is good and there is bad within my diet. There are definitely things that I should be eating, but there are also definitely things that perhaps people would say, oh, are you sure you want that? And my answer to that is yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have put it on my plate. But it's balanced. It's not, there's not a chocolate bar after every meal. There's not a pudding after every meal. There's not, 2 persons worth of chips on my plate. It's just sensible and balanced, and I'm not depriving myself of anything that I enjoy. And I think with somebody with my personality, that's quite important, that I don't say to myself, no, you don't deserve that. It's not a question of deserving it. I want it and I'll have it, but I will have it in measured quantities, and I will have it in, and I'll have it when I think that, yep, you've earned that, let's take it. I think deserve can be a bad word. Yeah, people can be like, oh, I deserve it. And that gives you a sentence of entitlement, and I'm trying to get away from thinking that you can just eat what you want when you want. Now, I did mention this in the 6 month video, but if you are wanting to get yourself onto the weight loss injections and you qualify and you decide to make that decision and go for it, and you're looking to get a discount, unfortunately, we're no longer allowed to share our discount codes online openly, because discount codes are for family and for friends. So if you fall into one of those categories, drop me a message and I'll happily share my code with you. But again, you must be family or a friend for me to be able to do that. Drop me a message on email or via Instagram or anywhere else that you can find me. I would suggest that Instagram is probably one that is easiest for me, but if you don't use it, then drop me an email and I will happily send it to you. Now, on my next weight loss video, I really want to talk about Endure 24, which we've got coming up in a few weeks' time. I think it's less than 5 weeks to go now. Endure 24 is an 8-kilometre route that we will run around as many times as we can within 24 hours. I have set myself a target of 75 miles, which is a bloody long way. And I don't know why I ever openly said I would try and do that, but I've said it, so I've got to commit to it and I'm going to go for it. But obviously that comes with problems when it comes to this weight loss injection, because we know that in the past I have had times where I've really quite struggled to get enough food in. And that can be a difficult thing when you're trying to run as far as I'm trying to run. I have done Endure 24 twice before. The first year I managed to get 50 miles. The second year, officially, I managed to get 55 miles. I say officially because my GPS said 57. But it's 55 miles is what I did, which was 11 laps. Now, I'm a lot lighter now, and I think I'm a bit fitter. I have been struggling a little bit lately with my calf, but I've managed to sort of adjust the way that I'm running to make that more comfortable. So problem is being, as I've been getting lighter, I've been moving towards the front of my foot on my landing, which means I've been basically landing on my toes, basically front foot striking as I'm running. I've now been having to really consciously think about going back to that midfoot striking and making it a little bit more comfortable on my calves. And that does seem to be working, because actually if I start running and I go onto my toes, I can feel it in my calf almost straight away. As soon as I go back to midfoot striking, that discomfort goes away. So I'm not sure what that is right now. And I'll be honest with you, I've been avoiding going to get it looked at for one reason and one reason alone, is I do not want anybody telling me that I can't run Endure 24. I'm going to run Endure 24 and I'm going to see how far I can go. But I am going to nurse it to make sure that we get around it as safely as we can. But I want to talk about that in my next video, because I am currently trying to make a plan of action to decide on the best thing for me to do to give me the best opportunity to take on as much fuel as I'm going to need to get around that whole event. So that one is coming up very soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue my preparation. And like I say, we've got only a matter of weeks to go. But interestingly for me, is I'm going to go down to Endure 24 in Reading in a couple of weeks' time. I think it's like a week and a half, whatever it is. But I'm going to go down there to help marshal on the event. So I did put my hand up to volunteer. So I'm going to go down there to stick a couple of shifts in and cheer people on. I think you do like 6-hour shifts to basically be out on the course and cheer people on. I'm going to go and do a couple of those shifts. This is the train. And see if I can't give out a few high fives while I'm there. So I'm going to video that as well to give you all an insight into what it's like down at Endure 24. And I'm actually looking forward to hopefully getting the opportunity to maybe not run it, we'll see, but hopefully at least walk around the route, because I want to see what it's like compared to Leeds. And here comes that bloody rain that we've been talking about earlier. I really want to compare it to Leeds and see what it's like, see which one would be, I don't want to say the easiest, because that's not even a thing. None of them are easy, but I guess which one I would prefer if I was going for, say, 100 miler or something like that, or even for the 75. I might look at Reading and be like, cool, I wish I was doing this one. And it's very unlikely that I'm going to do Endure 24 next year. This will be the 3rd year in a row, but it's unlikely I'm going to do it next year, simply because we have signed up, I say we, me, Scott and James, have signed up to another event coming up, which I don't know if I've mentioned it to you guys yet, but again, I'm going to save that one for a video later, because that is over a year away. We have signed up to quite a large event in July, which I'm already scared of. Who do I blame for this? Was it you, Scott, or was it you, James? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it. I hope this has been a worthwhile update. Right, anyway, again, I just want to quickly say that anything I mention here that is to do with weight loss injections, we have to remember that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical expert. I don't give any of this as advice. I'm purely sharing my experience with what I've seen. And I know I keep saying it, that I'm going to do one when I talk about the food that I've been eating and show you what I've been doing. And I must get around to trying that eventually. I've just been rubbish at it. I've been so busy. I've been in my new job this is week 7. It's been good. It's been busy. So that's why there's not been many of these videos as well, because I've just been a bit run off my feet trying to get things done. Right, that's enough talking. I need to get myself home and get out of this rain, because it is starting to come down now. So thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around, and keep it positive.